During the Obama administration, U.S. taxpayer money went to a group affiliated with Al-Qaeda. That's according to a recent Senate report.
Senator Chuck Grassley's staff investigated the relationship between humanitarian group World Vision and the Islamic Relief Agency, or ISRA, headquartered in Sudan. The U.S. sanctioned ISRA in 2004 after it funneled $5 million to a group controlled by Osama bin Laden. 10 years later, in 2014, World Vision partnered with ISRA to provide humanitarian help in Sudan. But later that year, World Vision found out the agency was sanctioned and it stopped payments. In early 2015, World Vision requested a license to pay the agency $125,000 for services rendered. It said it could face legal consequences or get kicked out of Sudan if it didn't pay. Then in May, Obama's State Department recommended the office responsible grant World Vision's request. The next day, they got the license. The report shows $125,000 was paid on May 7th. Most came from a U.S. government grant. About $9,000 came from Irish aid. It also shows before that the U.S. paid over $39,000 to ISRA in 2014. Grassley's team didn't find any evidence that World Vision tried to circumvent the sanctions on purpose. It concludes, although we find no reason to doubt World Vision's assertion that the funds in their entirety were used by ISRA for humanitarian purposes, that money inevitably aids their terrorist activities.
And just ahead, the second case of a new strain of the CCP virus is found in California. Dr. Anthony Fauci gives his analysis of what to expect going forward. And Penn Station unveils a new hall, part of an effort to restore the station's architectural beauty of 6 decades before. Find out more after the break.
Are you looking for a news source that does not spin the truth, doesn't push any false narratives, and instead presents you with the facts and lets you make up your own mind? Then go to readepic.com and try the Epic Times newspaper for yourself. It's pure honest journalism that's based in traditional values.
California is scrambling to detect and contain the highly infectious CCP virus variant originally discovered in Britain. Governor Gavin Newsom announced it had been found in the state yesterday.
The new variant was confirmed to have been detected in a patient in Southern California who had no known travel history, suggesting it is spreading in the community. The discovery comes a day after the first known U.S. case was documented in Colorado. However, during an online briefing, top infectious disease specialist Anthony Fauci said the variant was not more deadly.
There's no indication at all that it increases the virulence, and by virulence I mean the ability to make you sick or kill you. It doesn't seem to make it more strong in that regard. In addition, it doesn't seem to evade the protection that's afforded by the antibodies that are induced by vaccine.
The emergence of the variant in the US makes the rollout of vaccines that much more critical. Thousands of frontline workers have already been inoculated in California, including firefighters who've been providing an ambulance service. California residents are being urged to stick to restrictions until it's their turn to receive the shot. Much of the state is under an indefinite stay-at-home order, which was renewed on Tuesday.
The Census Bureau says it will miss a deadline for handing in numbers used to decide congressional seats. The Bureau said that it needs until at least early 2021 to deliver a count. The Bureau's statement also suggests the date is subject to change. Congress set the December 31st deadline 4 decades ago. Census data determines how much federal funding each state gets, along with how many seats each gets in Congress. The Census Bureau's announcement marks the first time in 4 decades that the December 31st deadline will be missed. After the CCP virus pandemic began, the Bureau asked Congress for extensions, but they were not approved by Congress or by the courts. Here's a top 10 list you definitely don't want to find yourself on. 2020's worst red light runners caught on camera.
Verra Mobility, the company that makes red light safety cameras, put together the footage of what they say were the worst violators of the past year. The top 10 worst instances of a motorist running a red light all involve serious accidents. The safety cameras that recorded the violators can also be used to record license plates and help police capture hit-and-run drivers. Verra Mobility is hoping that these videos will convince drivers to obey traffic laws and always stop on red. The company also points out these accidents were captured during a year when highway traffic was down due to the pandemic. A study of red light safety cameras in large cities shows they can reduce fatal accidents caused by running red lights by 21%.
New York City unveiled a $1.6 billion concourse at Penn Station on Wednesday, expanding North America's busiest train terminal.
The construction of the new concourse in the iconic Farley Post Office building across 8th Avenue from Penn Station is finally complete. The 255,000-square-foot Moynihan train hall features a 92-foot-high glass skylight and a lounge for nursing mothers. The concourse will feed passengers to 17 Amtrak and Long Island Railroad tracks and provide more space for the notoriously congested transit hub. It was named after the late U.S. Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. In the 1990s, Moynihan promoted the idea of converting the underutilized post office as a way to restore the architectural beauty of the old Penn Station. The old station was torn down starting in 1963 due to the Pennsylvania Railroad Company's bankruptcy. That triggered a backlash and helped lead to the establishment of the city's Landmarks Preservation Commission. The new concourse will open for business on January 1st. The project is the result of a public-private partnership that included developers Vornado Realty Trust and related companies. Over the summer, Vornado announced that Facebook signed a lease for office space at the Farley building, a sign of confidence in the development. Penn Station served almost 650,000 people daily before the pandemic.
Zoo animals around the world are celebrating the holidays, and one zoo is celebrating the survival of one of its newest members. Let's take a look.
England's ESL Whipsnade Zoo might be closed to visitors, but that didn't stop its rhinos from enjoying a festive feast in true Christmas spirit. The zoo's one-horned rhino herd ate its vegetables that were presented on a plate of banana leaves. The meal included carrots, cabbage, and a big pile of hay, with the banana leaves being a sweet treat. Although Whipsnade Zoo's doors are closed to the public, zookeepers, vets, and essential staff continue to go to work daily. They want to ensure the zoo's animals are well cared for this festive season, and make sure they eat a varied diet. Across the pond in Mexico, Socongo Ecological Park is celebrating the birth and good health of a Nile hippopotamus baby. The male hippo was born in July. When he was born, zoo officials said he only had a 15% chance of survival because his mother Tomba had trouble feeding her previous offspring. But the baby pulled through, and now zoo officials are celebrating his growth and the fact that he's eating solid food. The International Union for Conservation of Nature considers hippos a vulnerable species.
That's all for now. Catch us again at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm Kevin Hogan.